Hello everyone, if you're new to my channel, I'm Amber, and today I'm bringing you a video on one of my favorite things to talk about, Chapman University. So just a bit of background on me, I'm currently a freshman at Chapman University, class of 2023. I am currently undeclared. I've lived my whole life in upstate New York, so going to Chapman was a cross-country move for me. So those are the basics on me as a Chapman student. Also, I briefly want to say I have a ton of videos related to Chapman on my channel, so if you're trying to find more info on Chapman and just see what daily life is like here, I'll link them in the description box too so you can find them easier. So because I'm out of state and from the East Coast, I went into Chapman with like absolutely no context of what it was like as a school, especially like a school in California. This is gonna be like my one overarching video about Chapman. So I have a whole list of stuff to talk about on my phone. And to make this video easier to maneuver, I'm gonna put timestamps in the description box and in the comments, so you can just click on whatever timestamp you want to see whatever information it is that you're interested in. So I'm gonna start off this video by addressing all the stereotypes that Chapman is known for. The stereotypes that I put were, it's rich and snobby, there's a diversity issue, it's very white, it's a religious school, it's really expensive, and it's mostly known for its film school, or like the film school is like the only good thing about Chapman. So starting off with it being rich and snobby, I would say the school is pretty divided. Around 50% or less than 50% of the school is very rich and snobby, and then the other half is the super diverse, outgoing, super fun kids that you'd expect from a SoCal school. I would say that the rich and snobby kids mostly exist within business majors, but they're scattered everywhere. Those kids exist, but if you just stay within the fun half of Chapman, it's really fun. Next we have the diversity issue. For me, it wasn't super noticeable just because I grew up in such a white town, but most people that go to Chapman that are moving from somewhere else in California have a culture shock because it's so white for them. So it kind of just depends where you came from. Looking up the numbers right now, Chapman is 58% white, 14% Hispanic, 10% Asian, and 1% black. So the diversity is very much so lacking. Next we have that it's really expensive. The tuition is around $73,000 without any aid or anything. Most people I know pay around $30,000 to $45,000 per year. I'm on the lower half of that spectrum. I got a lot of academic scholarships and I have some student loans and stuff like that. I was scared that my tuition would be super high, and it ended up being one of my best financial options in terms of all the schools I applied to. So definitely don't rule out applying to Chapman because of that reason. Next we have that it's a religious school. So I don't think many people actually think it's a religious school, but if you Google Chapman, it comes up as a Christian university, and like their slogan is something like Christ in church, I think. And so I was like, is it like a really religious school? Just because I'm not religious at all, and I was like, is this gonna affect my day-to-day life? Short answer is no. I have not experienced anything remotely religious at Chapman. There are resources on campus and lots of clubs related to religion so that you can kind of find your group. There's a fish interfaith center for people of all religions. So if you are religious, there are lots of resources for you to mingle with other people and practice your religion, but if you're not religious like me, it won't affect you. Last thing is that Chapman is mostly known for its Dodge College of Film and Media Arts. So I believe right now Chapman is ranked as the 7th best film school in the United States. Dodge is an amazing film school. If you get in, I would highly suggest you consider it as one of your top options for college. Dodge is kind of Chapman's like shining star. Everyone loves Dodge. If you're not in Dodge, you want to be in Dodge. That's just kind of the vibe on campus. Film production is the most like prestigious major of all of Dodge. I think the acceptance rate is like 4%. It's super hard to get in, but I've only heard great things about it. Is Dodge worth the hype? I'm gonna say yes. I'm currently applying to transfer into Dodge. Even if you're not in Dodge, there's lots of things that you can do to get involved and like be creative. This also kind of leads me into the sponsor for today's video, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where you can make a membership and explore different classes online. So even though I'm not in the film school right now, I can still learn more about film through Skillshare. Skillshare offers a ton of classes on a wide variety of topics like graphic design, entrepreneurship, marketing, freelance. So one class that I've been liking recently is iPhone filmmaking. It's by Caleb Babcock and Niles Gray. They just kind of teach how to do like cinematography through your own iPhone. So it's been super fun to get creative with that. Their classes are designed for real life, so you can learn whenever you have free time and you can work it around your own schedule. And it's super affordable compared to in-person classes and workshops. Skillshare is actually giving away 2 free months of their premium membership to explore your creativity if you click the link in my description. And after that, it's only around $10 a month. So yeah, Skillshare has been a great resource to learn more about film while I can't take film-specific classes at my college yet. There's just a lot of other stuff that you can do to be creative in Dodge and outside of Dodge. If you're not in Dodge, you can still work on sets with your friends. There's like the Film Society Club and just a lot of other stuff that you can do. So yeah, Chapman's a super fun place to be because of that. I believe that covers all the stereotypes and all the things that Chapman is known for. So I'm gonna go into like the more standard things that you need to know about Chapman. First is the size of the school. So there's around 7,000 undergrad students at Chapman. That makes it a pretty small school. The average class ranges from about 15 to 25 people. I've only taken one class where it was like 70 people. I find the small class size to be super helpful because you just get closer with your professors and closer with other students. Not to mention being at a smaller school, you can meet a higher percentage of your classmates and you can walk through campus and recognize people, and I feel like it's a lot more comforting. Next is average stats to get into Chapman. So I actually have a whole video on my channel about my stats and my whole college application process. So if you're kind of in the same boat right now where you're trying to figure out where to go to school and like how to apply to college, I would definitely recommend checking out that video. I'll link it above somewhere. So when you're applying to Chapman, the acceptance rate is 57%. There's a 79% graduation rate. The average GPA is 3.75 and the average SAT is 1280 from what I could find online. My SAT was 1410 and my GPA was 3.64 unweighted. So yeah, that's how I stood as an applicant. It's not a super hard school to get into, but it's hard enough. Especially if you're applying into Dodge, the acceptance rates are way lower. So that's something to consider too. Next is the location of the school. I think Chapman's location is one of the things that makes it one of the best schools like ever for college. Chapman is located in Orange, California. Just for some perspective, Chapman is 45 minutes southeast of LA, 15 minutes east of Disneyland, and 20 minutes north of the beach. So you're basically nearby everything you could ever dream of. I personally don't like LA that much. I much rather prefer to be in Orange County. I think Orange County is like the coolest place ever. I think it's more realistic in terms of finding things to do and finding places to eat and stuff like that. The city of Old Town Orange is very suburban, very quaint, very homey. Chapman's campus is right in the center of a very residential area for like middle to middle lower class families. The places that you're gonna need to know around Chapman are the Orange Circle. The Circle is south of Chapman and there's just a bunch of food options there. It's like a 5 to 7 minute walk from main campus. So in the Circle there's like ramen places, pizza places, burger places, a pie place, a smoothie place. The next place you'll need to know is a street called Tustin. This runs alongside Chapman. It's like the one main road that has everything on it, like all the fast food, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, Tustin and the Circle are like the two main places that you need to know around Chapman. Next, kind of related to location, is what do you do for fun, like on the weekends? My friends and I spent a lot of time just hanging out at the dorms and that was super fun, but if we ever got out, we would go to downtown Disney, which is like the free section of Disneyland, and we would just get ice cream there. Or if we felt like splurging, we would go to Disneyland itself. We also had a lot of beach trips. The main beaches near Chapman are Newport, that's the closest one, around 20 minutes away. Huntington is a little bit north of that, and then Laguna is further south. Laguna's the furthest away, around 30 to 35 minutes, but it's the prettiest one. Laguna's the prettiest little town, and there's so many little stores alongside the beach and places to eat. We would always go to Laguna just because it was worth it. I love Laguna so much. Other places we go are Irvine and Costa Mesa. Those are two cities nearby that have a lot more shopping centers and things to do. So the main places that we've gone are the Irvine Spectrum, which is a really pretty indoor-outdoor mall, South Coast Plaza, which is a really nice mall in Costa Mesa. I think it's called like the Lab or Anti-Mall in Costa Mesa. It has like an Urban Outfitters and like a donut place that's super good. So yeah, Irvine and Costa Mesa are kind of the two cities you go to if you want to do some shopping. They're around 15 minutes away. The next thing on my list is the question of cars. Do most students have cars at Chapman? Do you need a car at Chapman? So the short answer is no. Most freshmen I know did not have a car. I brought my car from New York. I shipped it across the country on like a big truck. It was like $1,000, which is a lot, but I found that it was worth it because I figured if I was going to be moving there for the next 4 years, I wanted to have a car to get around and actually explore the area I'm in. By no means do you need a car at Chapman. The Orange Circle is walking distance. If you skateboard, you can get around everywhere a lot easier too, and you probably make a friend that has a car, so I wouldn't worry about having a car if I were you. Next, we have food on campus. So if you're a freshman and you live on campus, you will have to have a meal plan where you have a certain amount of swipes to get into the main dining hall. It's called Randall Dining Hall. We all call it the CAF. And then you'll also have a certain amount of Panther Bucks, which is just held on your ID card, and you can use it at other food places on campus like Qdoba and Jamba Juice and Einstein's. I personally did the lowest amount of swipes and the highest amount of Panther Bucks. There's really no right or wrong way to go. There's like a wide variety of stations in the CAF, and they're always in the same spot. So because I'm vegan, I always went to the vegan station. There's like a chicken station, a wok station, there's a dessert station, there was a burger and fry station outside, which is super cool. So yeah, the CAF is pretty chill. It's a good place. And then the other food places like Qdoba, Starbucks, Jamba Juice, blah, 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 those are all in Ardros, except the Starbucks is in Beckman. I'll get to talking about those buildings more later in the video. So yeah, food on campus is pretty good. Food off campus is really, really good. There's so many options on Tustin, so if you have a car or if you skate, you can get food anywhere around town. Next, we have the campus itself. Chapman's campus is very, very tiny. There's the main campus, and then there's the law school, and then there's Dodge. To walk from the freshman dorms to main campus takes about 10 minutes, and then to walk from the freshman dorms to Dodge takes about 15. Compared to bigger schools, it's not bad at all. It's super easy to figure out where everything on campus is. Chapman's campus is known to be one of like the prettiest in the nation. I would say the one thing it's lacking is a green space where people can actually hang out. Next is the amount of school spirit. It's kind of rare that I feel like Chapman's like one big unified community. Everyone's kind of like an individual doing their own thing, but you have your friend groups that you stick with. There's no really big like go Panthers mentality. That kind of leads me into athletics. So Chapman is a D3 school. The sports teams are good. I've been to football games. They're fun. People don't get really excited about the sports teams. Like they're good, but it's not like a huge thing on campus, and that's also like a reason why we don't have a lot of school spirit. Next is a big one. Housing. So I know a lot of you guys that are freshmen are like freaking out about this one, so I'm going to explain literally everything you'll need to know. So at Chapman, you're assigned your roommates randomly based on a quiz that you take online about like your living preferences and stuff like that. The dorm buildings are split up by your majors, so you will be living alongside people that have the same major as you or like a similar major within your college. I know the majors that live in each dorm changes year to year, and then undeclared kids are just scattered everywhere, or that's how it worked for my year at least. So the residence halls for freshmen are Prawley, Henley, Glass, North and South Moreland, and Sandu. Every dorm hall on campus has at least least a few common rooms and like study rooms and stuff like that. I'd say Chapman's housing is like phenomenal, just for the sole reason that every dorm room has their own private bathroom, which is super, super nice. I'll kind of get to which dorm halls are better or worse, but for the most part, they're all pretty good. So I'm gonna start off with Prawley and Henley. So Prawley and Henley are the two buildings that look exactly alike. My year Prawley housed all the Dodge kids. Prawley always smelled like literal garbage. I don't know what it was. The smell's not like unbearable, but every time I would walk in, I'd just be like, how can a building possibly smell like this? I don't know. It's kind of weird. And also underneath Prawley, there's some parking. Then Henley, my year, housed the business kids, which meant that Henley was the party hall. Basically, wherever the business kids are housed, that is the party hall. Henley basement is where the gym is. There's a bigger gym on main campus, but this year they built a smaller gym in the freshman dorms. Just swipe your ID card, anyone can get in. So yeah, Henley and Prawley are kind of like the two very normal dorm buildings. They have really nice big study rooms and common areas. They're just fun buildings to be in. Next, there's Sandu. So Sandu's kind of weird because it's wrapped around the dining hall. Sandu, my year, was where all the performance kids lived. It was like theater and dance and stuff like that. Sandu's weird because they have like these giant study rooms that are like the size of classrooms. I don't know why they're freaking huge. And they also have these dance studios because the dance majors live there. I don't know. I've never really been in Sandu. I think it's just kind of normal. Next dorm hall is Glass. I lived in Glass Hall. I was undeclared, so I was just placed there randomly. I lived alongside psych majors and health science majors. I think Glass is the quietest of all the dorm halls, at least my year. Lastly, we have North and South Moreland. Moreland is like the weird standout dorm hall of Chapman. South is nicer. North Moreland is like the absolute worst. My best friend lived in North Moreland and his room looked like a jail cell. It was so funny. Hi, Ashley.
Is just that. Oh.
Moreland. It was fun though.
Let me say hi. Hi, everyone.
It's my sister Ashley.
I go to college in upstate New York.
I'm talking about the dorm halls.
Oh.
So unlike the other dorm halls, Moreland is actually doubles. South Moreland is just like one double. You share your bathroom with one other person. But North Moreland is suited doubles.
It's like a weird setup, but like they're like nice.
Yeah, like I kind of wish I lived in North Moreland just for like the laughs. Cause like people that live there love it because it's just like so crappy. North Moreland is technically the least nice of the dorms. Also, I think Moreland has like the tightest knit community just because they were all bio and comp sci and stuff like that. Moreland looked like a lot of fun.
I'm going on a walk. Bye.
Can you close my door? Thanks. Every dorm at Chapman is a triple besides North and South Moreland, which are doubles. I think Glass and Sandu might be the nicest out of all the dorm halls in terms of like the room quality, just because Henley and Prawley kind of get trashed and then Moreland's setup is just weird. So I don't know. Glass, Sandu, Prawley, and Henley, all the rooms basically have the same layout except for North and South Moreland, which have very distinct weird looks. Living on campus freshman year was the most fun thing ever. You're like a minute away from all your friends. The housing is super nice. You have your private bathroom. I love Chapman housing. It was so much fun. Now I'm gonna go over the main buildings and areas on campus that you need to know. So I'm just gonna read off the list I made on my phone. So one of the main buildings is Ardros Forum. A lot of people don't know how to pronounce it. I've heard everyone say the funniest things. Argos, Argios, Agios. It's so funny. It's Ardros, but most people call it AF. This is where most of the food is on campus besides the one main dining hall. There's a Qdoba, Jamba Juice, Einstein's. There's the school store, which has all like the merchandise. There's a bunch of seating and couches if you want to do homework there. And it's also just where a lot of classes take place. Next we have Keck. Keck is the new science building. It's really pretty and it looks out over Wilson Field, so a lot of people do homework there. Next there's Leatherby Library. People just call it the library. The library is my favorite place to do homework. There's lots of different seating options. Next we have Beckman. So Beckman's also where a lot of classes are. There's also a Starbucks on the bottom floor. The inside kind of looks like an airport. I don't know why. I always get that vibe. Another place on campus to know is the Piazza, and it's the big like stone area that has the big fountain in the middle. This is where like all the club fairs are held. And it's just really pretty. I always try and cut through the Piazza whenever I'm walking to class just because it's nice to walk by. Schmid Gate, which is like the big Chapman gate. Next we have Memorial Lawn. This is like the big green field that's super pretty that you see in all the pictures. There's like 5 buildings surrounding it and you'll have classes in them probably. And then I'd say the last main place you have to know is Dodge. So Dodge is like a 5-minute walk from main campus. Dodge is super pretty. You probably won't have any classes there unless you're in one of the Dodge majors. Next we have the party scene and Greek life. I'm gonna kind of mix them together. Chapman's not a huge party school, but they do exist. It's mostly like dorm parties or people in houses around campus throw parties. I'm personally not in Greek life, so I don't know much about it. What I do know is that boys can rush in the fall of freshman year, but girls have to wait until spring of freshman year. Chapman's not really known for its Greek life, but I would say it's like the main thing that people are into on campus just because like there's not much else to be passionate about unless you're in Dodge. So yeah, a lot of people do Greek life. They really like it from what I've heard. Then we have going abroad. I'm obviously just a freshman. I have not gone abroad. I honestly don't have that much information, but I know that if going abroad is something you're interested in, Chapman is super, super good with it. Now, nearing the end of this list, oh my god, I have what are professors like. Every professor I've had has been great. I've had a few that are kind of like Mostly you just have to go on ratemyprofessor.com and check your professors while you're picking out your schedule. But yeah, I love the majority of my professors. They're super cool at Chapman. Then last thing on my list, I have what are people like? Everyone's super driven. Everyone's super into what they're doing. I'd say students at Chapman are pretty to themselves. Everyone kind of has their own friend group. They're all kind of doing their own thing. Everyone I've met has been super welcoming and outgoing and super friendly. And it's just overall been a really great experience for me. I've made some of my best friends there and I just love it so much. It's so sad being home for the spring semester just because I was enjoying my time there so much, but hopefully we can go back in the fall. So yeah, sorry if this video is super long. I just wanted to give as much information about Chapman as I could. If you have any more questions about Chapman, you can always leave them in the comments or you can DM me on Instagram at _Amber Alexander. Overall, my time at Chapman has been so much fun. I love the people there. I love the classes. I love the environment. Hands down, going there has been the best decision I've ever made in my life. I'm so thankful I ended up going there. And I definitely recommend looking into it as a school if you're applying to colleges right now. So yeah, I believe that brings me to the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a little something about Chapman. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.